It's good to be back. I hope you had a nice time listening to our last episodes in French. And now we're going to address the Galentine season. Hey, Corinne, how are you?
I'm fine, Kira. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. So tell me, I know you're married and it's
Yes.
Valentine for you, but it's also
Mhm.
Galentine for us girls. So how do you generally celebrate your friendship? Do you have like a typical thing you do, or is just like you go with the flow? Like, tell me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never really celebrated Galentine's as in having, like a dinner or lunch with my girls. What I usually do, and I've done it sporadically,
Yeah.
is I would send messages to my girlfriends and just remind them that I love them, and why they are my friends and what are the things that I appreciate about them.
Mm.
For me, Valentine's, it's about my husband because he is born one day before Valentine's. So it's like it's his birthday time. So he's my focus kind of. But yeah, I always make it a point to remind my girls whenever I can remember.
Yeah. I think it's good to just have the thing of reminding your girls. And maybe Galentine's is also, I think it's also a cultural thing. Um
Yeah,
it's mainly like in the US or like Western countries in Africa, we don't really do Galentine's.
yeah,
We
that's
don't
true.
really do that. But it was also for us to kind of break the stereotypes and address that as a topic this
Yeah.
time around. So
Well,
yeah.
guess what? See, I think it was last year.
Hmm.
And I was in the US around that time, moving to Germany because February is going to make it a full year that I've been to Germany. And but at the beginning of February, my friend organized a Galentine's. One of my friends in the US, she organized Galentine's over there, and I was invited. And it was such an amazing time with her girlfriends. Everything was pink and red. It was really nice, right?
Yeah.
And like you say, it's a cultural thing. So, and that's what I love about us, being able to experiment other cultures because what we see, which is nice, we can bring it back home.
Yeah.
So I whispered to one of my friends back home who I did organize a girls thing one time during Christmas time, and I told her, "Hey, I went to this thing and it was really amazing. Like, what do you think about this?" And she organized a Galentine's back home, and it was amazing. Like the
Wow.
decoration, the event, and everything. And in fact, she posted something recently, and her friends are asking her to have another one. So to see things like this, I think it's actually something very positive, to celebrate to celebrate women in a loving way, your friends and everything. Yeah.
I think it really doesn't have to be anything fancy because people can be like, yeah, but I don't have maybe the money to put for decoration and everything. But the spirit, the idea is really to be grateful for your girlfriend, the sisterhood, and find ways to spend time together in a fun way. Basically, that's the idea. Just have time together. And the same way you will organize a romantic dinner or date or
Yeah.
something, there's just organizing time with your friends, female friends, and just, yeah, just having that time together. It can be a movie night, it can be a conversation, it can be a
Right.
games night, it can be, I mean, it can really be anything based on the dynamic of your relationship and the like how creative you guys are.
Yeah, and that's a very budget friendly, way of hosting and making things memorable. So
Do you have tips based on your US experience? Do you have like tips or creative ways to hosting something memorable?
yes, I do. So one thing, because I did also organize events in the past, and one thing that I really love is the games. Like you have to be really thoughtful about the games. It really create bonds. It
Yeah.
makes the time really fun. It doesn't have to be something too expensive or too crazy. Like with a pen and paper, you can actually create activities. And yeah, I like smaller and intimate circles,
Yeah.
because the truth is, as we get older, we don't have as much friends as we used to have when we were teenagers or children. So make it interesting, make it personable, make each of your friends feel special to
Mhm.
be at your table or to be there watching a movie with you. Express yourself. This is the moment, like because there are some girls that they will never. And I think it's also cultural in Cameroon. We don't usually express our feelings that way.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like this is gonna be the excuse in quotes to tell you that I love you, and
Exactly. I think maybe also having themes can help with figuring out what you're going to do for the Galentine's night. If you have topics, for example, I mean, love is the
right.
central thing in general, but you can, I don't know, you can find like more creative or, for example, let me say love at first sight. And then you
Mhm.
have question like, did you really like me when you saw me the first time?
Right.
And I know many girls is like, girl, I hated you. You were too this, you were too this. And then I discovered, oh, she's actually nice, Or, yeah, so you
Okay, let
can,
me ask you, Kira, did you love me when you saw me first time?
I did actually. I thought
You
she was
did?
very, no, seriously, I thought she was very stylish.
Do you
No,
remember when you saw
you
me
were,
for the first time?
yeah, you were,
Okay.
you were very stylish. I mean, there were three of you, Nash, Fabi. It was like the girls clique, les filles stylées de l'église. Because me, my fashion game kind of show up in my early years, late years, not early. I was not in the style clique. And yeah, I just thought, I've, I think I liked your vibes,
Mhm.
just the connection between you, three of you. And yeah, I thought you were really stylish. I thought you were also not spiritual, but that's okay. Yeah, but I liked you. I think that the fashion thing got me hooked. I was like, she's cool. And then you were cool, actually. You were just
Yeah.
very, very unconventional.
Well, I remember the first time I saw you too. I think I was sitting either in front or behind you in another row, and it was your first time coming to church. It was youth church, and the pastor or whoever was speaking said, "Those who are here for the first time should stay and present themselves." So you stood up, and that's how I remember your name, Hannah. I am Kira. Soit you said it, je m'appelle Kira Anna. I was like, wow, this girl is really soft spoken. Like I love you right there and there. But we weren't that close at that
No.
time. I mean, you had your clique, you guys were in Booyah and things like that. But I did love you, and I've always loved you.
Aw. So yeah, you can meet someone and just love. It can be love at first time in relationship, even if the relationship doesn't blossom right away.
Yeah.
So it also tells me about it. Yeah, I think it's a good way to divert, sort of, in the sense
Mhm.
of knowing that it's okay to maybe match with someone or just like a person and let it sit. Like you don't have to act on your love at first time. Like you can have someone in your radar and be like, I really like this person, and
Yeah.
just wait for life to happen, and eventually maybe you guys will mature into friends, or you guys will just be like people who know each other and just appreciate who you are. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like women, especially now with internet and Instagram friends and everything,
Mhm.
people rush into relationships they were never meant to be into in the like they start this bestie da 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 da, and 6 months down the line you're like, where's your bestie? Oh, I hate her. Da 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 da.
So dramatic.
Yes. So let 2025 be the year where we spare the girlfriend drama, please. Like
Right.
spare us the drama. We don't need that.
We want quality over quantity.
Girl, louder, louder, louder.
So, Kira, Kira, you have friends that are not in the same country like you, right? I know you have friends a little bit all over the place. What are some ideas or suggestions that you can give to ladies who want to actually, like actually have a Valentine's Day, but your friends are not in the same country like you? So, how do you make those long distance friendship work?
Yeah, well, I have two ideas I can think of right now, which are not originally my ideas. Let me just say it because
Okay.
intellectual honesty.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I thought of two things.
Mhm.
As I've done long distance relationship, so I was kind of preparing myself on how to keep quality in the relationship. And so I did find a conversation cards that help to foster the conversation online. It's a YouTube account. I think it's very popular now, but I discovered it back in the days. It's called The Skin Dip. We're not doing any. It's not a paid promotion. Also, disclaimer. But I think they're really good with helping people having meaningful conversations, and they do have conversation cards for long distance relationships, LDRs, but also like family with your parents, with siblings. And I think so. Having conversation cards can be a good thing where you, for example, if you have a group or WhatsApp group or whatever form you have, you can send pictures of the cards and then have a call where you guys like answer the questions to the cards, and it will help like foster a good conversation, for example. That can be
Yeah.
one thing. The other thing I was thinking about is something we try to do with some friends. It's not working really well, but we tried is to do like a day where we have a call and we do like proper updates. We try to give weekly updates, but really it's not working. So
Mhm.
we try to have a call where we do updates, but again, it's not an idea. It's something I saw on Instagram. But you present like a PowerPoint presentation of what your life has been up to,
Oh
and
wow.
get on the call, and then you share like you do your presentation basically like,
Mhm.
hey, this is what I've been up to for the past month. This is what happened, the challenges, what I've enjoyed, and what I'm looking forward to. So
Mhm.
these are things you can do with long distance. And what about you? Because I also know you have lots of friends across the globe. So
Yes. And I wanted to add something to what you just said because I think what you just talked about is it's like group friends. You have something in
oh,
common. And I don't, and in your idea, I just wanted to add you can even have a girls trip together, right?
exactly.
And it
If
works
they're
really
not,
as
if they're ready in 2025, because girl, having a girls trip, oh, my kids are in school. Oh, my husband is this. And I have this exam. You're like, okay, that's cool.
yeah. So for that kind of friendship where you're like it's a group friendship, it really works well. When you have friends that are from so different horizon, which is my case, I don't think of like friends that are necessarily like
Like
in the
interconnected.
same group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always gather them, and it's always so interesting how they're from so different horizons. I like, I mean, you've been there to my close circles. You are part of my close circle. In those cases, it's really about um, making it a priority. Like I'm gonna check on you, even if it's just for 30 minutes, which is a lie. To be honest, it's never 30 minutes. We're always gonna go beyond. But you have to be intentional about. I'm gonna call Kira, or I'm going to text Kira and check how she's doing. I'm going to call this other person and check how she's doing. It's, to be honest, Kira, sometimes it can feel very exhausting because as adults, we have so many, like you said, like I have my husband to attend to, I have my work, I have my kids, you know. But one thing for me that always remains is the little gestures, even if it's like, hey, je pense à toi, or hey, I'm thinking about you, I hope you're doing good. I don't have time right now. Can we schedule, like when we can talk, And actually, a friend told me something. It was a little bit in the same direction of what you just shared. Like, we have a checkup call and see what are we doing in our lives right now. So I always had it on Sunday. On Sunday, I made it like I'm gonna call three people, and I mix it like friends and family. I'm gonna call three of them and check on them. I can't do everything, you know. So my friend was telling me about it, and I said, "Hey, I've been doing that," and I was like, "Yeah, let's do that." So those are kind of some of the ideas. Now, when it comes to like the Galentines specifically, I just feel like it's easier to just send text, like, "Hey, I'm
You
here,
know,
but I
one
think
thing
of you."
I tried, not I tried, I did last year when it was like that, which can be like duplicated during Galentine season, is when you said thoughtful gesture. I think so. We have this businesses in Cameroon where people, I think it started in Ivory Coast or Nigeria, I don't remember, but where people like do surprise, they send like gifts, and you have like a sax player that is playing like one of your
Right.
favorite songs in the background, and etc. So they started doing it in Cameroon lately. So I did that for a very good friend of mine. Last year she was like very stressed at work, and it was just like an intense period for her. And I remember at that time I was also missing her so bad. I think maybe it's the first time I missed her that bad. Like I missed her and I cried. I was like, I miss my friend. And I was like, okay, all this rush of emotions, I have to express it. But I didn't
Mhm.
want to do it like the typical, like, I miss you, I love you, da da da. So I thought, like, what's something she can like? I mean, spa treatment. I mean, it can be anything.
Oh
I
yes.
contacted the company,
Mm-hmm.
so we schedule how it will happen, and I had to give her details of her location and
Right.
everything, and tell them at what time they should be because she would be at home at that time, etc. And we spoke during the week and like normally chatting and everything,
Yeah.
and then they showed up at her house. When it ended, she was like, she just cursed me. She's like, "You're so stupid. Look at you." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. You can just say
That
thank
is
you.
so sweet.
You can just say thank you." That's it. What was that? And it was a totally different thing. I've never done that before, but
Yeah.
I like doing that, and she also like she received it really really well. She was like
Mm-hmm.
sleeping, and she just heard this sax playing in her house. It's like, what's happening? She got out, and they were playing, and then I sent it. I wrote something, a message, so the lady just read it out. Like she was like, "This girl is crazy." She was bawling and everything.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love things like that. Really, I think her like personality. It was her way of expressing her emotions, her gratitude
Yeah.
towards having you. You were so thoughtful to think about her the way you did, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a situation too because I did that last year for a friend, but it was for her birthday.
Yeah.
And oh my God, Kira, I love my friends. So I had one friend in Cameroon actually do everything for me, for that other friend that she doesn't, they're not even friends.
Friends.
I mean, she took care of everything. Like, I'm gonna do this for your friends. Let's say, for example, Kira, you have your friend here in
Yeah.
Germany, in the same town like me. I say, Corine, please take care of my friend, and da da da. And I do absolutely, I mean, from A to Z
Yeah.
for that event. And it was like, it was just amazing. So, yeah.
We can be really creative during this season. Send flowers. I mean, the
Yeah.
same thing you can do with your lover if he's across the globe. You can do that with your girlfriends, even if they're
Mm.
not like in your city or something.
Proverbs 17, verse 17 in the Amplified Bible version. A friend loves at all times and is born as is a brother for adversity. A real friend, from what I know, will always, will love you because for me, it feels like, not that it feels, it starts with loving you. Loving is an action and it's a dynamic action. You love when it's good, you love when it's not good. And I have come to realize that adversity are the things that really create the deepest bonds. And I've seen it even in our relationship with God, where there is a level, of revelation of God that you have in the adversity. So when a friend shows up in those hard moments in a way that maybe you weren't expecting, that's how brothers are created, or that's how sisters are created. So in this season of love, I want to encourage us not only to celebrate our I mean our partners, but also to remember that we have friends, we have sisters that are there with us in the good moments and in the bad moments, and we have to celebrate them as well. It can be something as easy as sending her a "Hey, I love you," or as big as offering her, like a surprise flowers or saxophonists at their office.
is it and having a unforgettable year. So what do you think on how we can make it happen? Like what are the steps to have to host a vision board party at home with your girlfriends?
Girl, first of all, I love the idea like big time, you know. It's like we're adults. Let's stop having some silly. I'm not saying that the other things were silly, but I'm like, we have goals that we need to reach, right? So
Yeah.
let's sit down and plan it. It's also part of love of being there because when we do it, we keep ourselves accountable. These are our friends, these are our sisters. So they kind of know our bellies. Let's speak it out and say, okay, you know. So I think having a vision board party or vision board making event for Galentines is actually really great to just sit down and come together and do it. Whether you're someone, I know you've done that, Kira,
Yeah.
like you have someone who actually come and help while you guys are having your moment. I think it's absolutely great. It's a great idea. I'm also thinking about for our girlfriends that are not in the same country, like long distance relationship. I think it's also possible. For me, the way I see it being possible is maybe we can prepare things in advance so that on the day that we get on the call, we can actually talk about it and make things go smoother. So distance doesn't have to be a barrier. No, it's just another opportunity to see things differently.
Yeah. So get your girls ready. Prepare all the elements. Today with even your phones, Pinterest, we can create virtual vision boards without having to
Right.
cut and everything. I prefer the physical where you cut and you paste, but we can do it online like Canva and
Mhm.
their Canva boards and you just copy paste stuff and then we show it on a screen, for example, like TV screen, and then we just screencast and show present our vision boards and that's it, it's done, and then it gets printed after the party. So here is a very practical idea we gave you guys. Do something good out of it, please, and make sure to tag us if you host a Galentine's night. Please don't forget to tag us at the thriving woman .co on Instagram. That's our only social media platform.
Yeah.
In your stories or something, we would like to see what you guys have done for Galentine's night. Yeah. So how can someone actually use this season of love as an opportunity to deepen their friendship? I would say deepen and I also say adjust because some people have beef going on. So deepen and adjust or create like core memories that will last throughout the years.
We have actually, as far as for me, lasting memories are concerned, I think we've actually talked about a lot of good things so far that can help you create those memories. There is one thing that we haven't touched, which I think it's actually great to talk about, is meaningful conversations,
Yeah.
heartfelt conversations. Just like you said, some people have beef at the moment. If you don't express your emotions to your friends or the way you feel, how will they know that maybe you are expecting them to show up at this level? I mean, you might think that it's obvious, but for some people, it's just not obvious because even if you've been friends, they are from different backgrounds and there are certain things that they don't understand, you know. And I think this is actually a good moment to say, I was talking a bit, you know, like maybe something's not working, I want to fix it. All these really heartfelt conversations are really something that I would say push forward and run with it.
Yeah. But how do you do to avoid that it goes into an open fight? Because like when your emotions are stirred up, you can say things, like when you're triggered, you can say things that, I mean, if I'm still mad at you,
Well,
I'm not sure.
or you absolutely do not come to the table with those emotions. If they're still there, they can wait till June. Okay. Like, no, it means that you're not ready, honestly.
Okay.
Because when you come, you have to come being mindful. It takes time, like, to let some of these emotions, like, calm down. We are women,
Yeah.
okay? We are very emotional in the way we react, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a blessing to be the way we are. But when you come to this kind of conversation, you have to come with the goal of making things better. not stirring up things. And there
Oh,
are different ways of expressing certain things, you know. So think about that, and that's my big thing. Don't come with the bad emotions.
I
Okay.
want you to go deep on that, please, because I think it's you just hit the nail right there. Because yeah, just elaborate. Like
I don't even remember what I said.
not coming with the bad emotions, and like how do you communicate your emotions in a way that is not hurtful to the relationship? Like what do you say in a very practical?
In a very practical way, for me, for example, I'm going to take my example. What I do, I write.
Okay.
I write. There are two ways that I write. Sometimes I'll write to God, like I'll complain to Him. I always start with, "Dear God, I am upset at Kira because she did this, she did that, da da da." And I really open my heart to Him fully. Nobody's gonna read this, so I'm fully opening my heart. Either I write to God about Kira or I write to Kira personally in my time. I'm not sending you the message. I write to you and I tell you absolutely everything that I'm upset about. I sleep on it. I read, je relis. I read again the text that I sent you. I try to adjust it in a way that if I was Kira, how would I receive this, right? And there are certain moments too where I will have a friend reread what I shared because it's like when you have an external opinion
Yeah.
of something, sometimes it's very helpful.
Yeah.
So once that is ready, I I do two things. I will send you the cleaner and the most like I have removed all the bad emotions and I will send you the text and I will ask you, can we call, can we speak or on the call, like this is how I feel. And from there you can choose either we can still keep the texting or we can go on the call and discuss this. But one thing that you always have to remember in your mind is this is not my enemy. Did I answer your question?
You did, and I never thought of it this way, and it's given me direction to handle a situation I kind of have going on. Yes, to write. Wow. Okay. That's I think it's a good way to process your emotions and what happened and like your own narrative, like how you think things through.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. It's very not African kind of we don't do that. Yeah, but I think it's a good.
Kira, I have just learned over time, because I didn't used to do things that way. And I've learned things maybe for the past 2 years or, yeah, probably 2 or 3 years. I used to be a very intense friend
Mm.
with a lot of expectations, like I had to calm down because of some reaction that some of my friends had. And I had to calm down and think through my feelings, let go of certain things.
Yeah,
And it has been really, really helpful.
that's good. That's I like. Yeah, I just like how you've spelled it out. So, do you have any closing points for today?
Happy Galentine's Day, ladies.
Yeah, it's a season of love. So, yeah, just love. And we'll leave you also with First Corinthians 13. That is a clear outline of what love means and how it shows up. So, in case you don't know what to do or how to love better, yeah, just read and have a meditation time on First Corinthians 13.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you next time. Please make sure to leave us a comment if you're listening from Spotify. You can write your comments. We will read them. We will react to them. We can interact in the comment section in Spotify. And also leave us a review. Guys, we need your stars. Like you can star us on
Please,
Apple
pretty
Podcasts.
please.
You can give us a star on Apple Podcasts. You can give us actually 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, or you can give us a star on Spotify. We would like the podcast to grow and reach more people. So share with your friends, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.